Okay, for this video, I'm going to show you how I set up the worship email in Constant Contact and also the digital bulletin in Constant Contact. So this is going to be a little bit involved. There's a few steps that kind of have to happen at once because you have to have links and things like that. So this might be a longer video, and I apologize for that. Okay, so the first step is to pull down the bulletin for the week. So Robin has sent me the updated bulletin. We had some errors this week, so we fixed it. So this should be the corrected one. So I'm just going to download that and open it. So here we've got our Word document here. A lot of what we're going to be doing is copy and paste. So having this bulletin open over here is just super handy to be able to do that. In fact, most of the time, if I can, I will actually do a split screen so that I can copy and paste, and I'll show you how I do that on the Mac. Okay, so going back to Chrome, I do recommend using Chrome for Constant Contact. For some reason, Safari does not play well with Constant Contact. Things get a little weird, and I tend to get errors. So I also like to have the live stream open. So I've made another video for how to set those up. So we were in YouTube Studio, and we're on the Manage tab. So we're going to need to grab the links for these to paste in there. So I like to have those open and ready to go. And then we're going to go to Constant Contact. And I'll make sure that you have login information for that. I'll get that switched over to an admin account so that you can access it with the admin account. Robin also has an account. You can always just use her account. It's all shared together. We all see the same thing. Okay, so this is what Constant Contact looks like if you've never used it before. So our campaigns are actually what we create, are the emails that we send out. They call them campaigns in Constant Contact. So the most recent ones are active, and that'll show us all the stuff that Robin's been working on. The Living Water for this week, which was sent. She does a separate one to print. The CV, all of that stuff is there. So we're actually going to hit View All so we can see everything, because we are going to grab last week's worship email. So the worship email for 7/9, and we're just going to make a copy of that. So it's made that copy, and always wait on this little pop-up to come up, because that's the first thing you need to do. So the first thing I'll do is change the date to worship email for 7/16. And then the next thing I do is go ahead and change the subject line, which is what's up here. So if I click on that, the subject for the email, I'm going to change that to July 16th as well. If I don't do that now, I will forget, and everybody will be confused when they see an email that says worship information for last week. Okay, so we're going to hit save, and you can change, from address, who you want it to be from, if you want it to be from admin or from Robin or whatever, it doesn't matter. Hit save. So the first thing that I do in the worship email is change the graphic and then make the colors around it match. So we've already got our graphic for this week. So I'm going to hit replace. And I will go ahead and mention that I normally do this later in the week so that I've already got the graphic. The bulletin's already done. It's currently Thursday. Sometimes I wait until Friday to do this. The email actually gets sent on Friday, so it's better if I can create it on Thursday and then send the test email. Okay, so we need to upload our graphic here. So we're going to hit upload. And I'm just going to hit browse. Go to downloads. And I am going to use the graphic PNG. Since we are doing 2 live streams, I don't want it to have the live stream from one of them on there. So I'm going to just use that one. We're going to upload it. And then once it's uploaded, we can hit done. And then we're back to this screen. So we've got our new graphic that we've uploaded, and we're going to hit insert. Boop, and it pops it right in there. Now, the next thing I will do is try to match the colors for the background. That's not necessary. You can pick a set of colors that you like and just use them as the default. That's just, I'm weird like that. I like to have everything match. So outer background is what's in gray here. So anything that's excess on the screen when they open the email will show up as the outer background. So I'm going to change that here, and I think I'll try to match the sky color. So none of these default ones really match, so I'm going to go to advance, and we want a blue, kind of gray blue, and I want Unfortunately, Constant Contact does not have a color match tool where I can just select the color. So I'm trying to match this color right here, and I think that's pretty good. So we're going to hit apply. And what's nice is that does save that in recents, and that's going to come in handy in a minute. And then the only other color that I usually worry about is the inner background color, which is what you can see in brown right here. So we're going to change that as well. We're going to go to advanced, and I think I'm just going to make that more of a just straight ahead gray, maybe with a hint of blue in it. Kind of a lighter to match the sky. We could also, and again, I mean, this is just artistic, you know, whatever you're feeling. We could do that green if we wanted to. I think I like it better with the lighter blue. Bluish gray there. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Okay, we'll apply that. And design-wise, if you hate my design, that's fine. Do whatever you want. You don't have to do what I want. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is copy in. I usually just go straight down the page on this to edit things and make sure I get everything correct. So I'm going to get the sermon information. So we're going to go over here. This week, Mike's got a whole bunch of scripture there, but that's okay. So we're going to take that entire text. Oh, let me show you how to do side by side if you want. So you see me switching back and forth between these screens. There's two ways to do that on a Mac. On the newer MacBooks, if you're using that, a MacBook Pro or something, on the trackpad you can do 3 fingers to swipe across, and that's what I do. You can also hit Control and the left or right arrows will do the same thing. It's a little slower, or you can make it side by side. So first thing is to hit this button to kind of make it where it's not full screen, and then if you click that and hold it, like I did not successfully just do, if you hover over that and hold it, you'll get this option to tile window to right side of screen. You can do that. And then it asks what do you want to be on the other side, because it's doing a half and half split. And since this one is selected, I'm going to go ahead and grab that so that I do have everything here. Okay. It sometimes will make it a little small over here, but this actually seems to be working okay. So I'm going to leave it like that so I can just quickly grab this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to right click and hit copy. You could also, as it says there, hit Command C if you want. And then I'm going to come over here, and I could right click and hit paste, but I want to actually hit paste and match style. Now sometimes that does weird things with the formatting, so we can just fix that. That's not a problem. But paste and match style is usually the best option there. So for the style, what I like to have is Tahoma. And I do like this to be bold. And I think we use 17 as our font size here. And then I'm going to center all this. So what I'm actually going to do is make that a separate line. And we can get rid of any... I'm just going to do some formatting here. Just getting rid of spacing, extra spaces and stuff like that. Maybe causing issues. We don't need the page numbers in the email. So what I'm actually going to do, instead of having these stacked up like this, is I'm going to take them across. And it is rare to have this many scriptures for the Sunday, but there we go. I think that looks a little neater. Okay, so we've got these 5 scriptures under there. We've got the sermon title. We have that Mike Snell is indeed preaching. Why is that one? Aha, that's why it's not centered. There's extra spaces there. Okay, got to get rid of those extra spaces to make it fit correctly. Okay, so now it's centered. Looks good. Okay, we double check this. Oh, and the text color for some reason sometimes isn't right. So I'll grab that and make it just a straight black. Okay, check this information, make sure it's correct. Crossroads at 9, Sunday school at 10, traditional worship at 11. And then here is where we're going to need those links from the live stream. So I've got both links in here, the Crossroads service live stream and the traditional service. So I'll come here, and the first one I'm going to grab is the Crossroads service. So we make sure that we've got the Crossroads selected, click on the 3 dots, hit Get Shareable Link. And as it says down here, that is copied now to the clipboard, which means I can come back here. highlight that, and then I'm going to hit this link button and hit edit. So I want live stream to be the text, and then I'm just going to hit command paste and paste in the email, or paste in the link there. Okay, and I usually take that feature share out. It doesn't really matter if that's there or not. So we hit insert, and now our link is there. And we'll confirm that when we do our preview and stuff like that. So then we'll do the same thing for the traditional service, hit the 3 dots, get shareable link, come over to Constant Contact, highlight that, hit edit, and paste that in. So you notice that all of these weird numbers changed. That just is telling you that that's the new video. That's the actual address for that video. And you can grab everything from the question mark on and delete it, and it works. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect anything. Now, we don't have the digital bulletin made yet, so we're going to have to hang on to get the link to this. Okay, but that's okay. All right, so the next information we need is the elder and the diaconate for the week. So as I see over here, Jeremy Clements is the elder for the week. And I do find that with these, just for formatting purposes, sometimes it's just easier to just type it in. See, and weirdly, it changes that. So what I'll do sometimes is leave one letter so that it'll make it the bold, and then I'll delete it later. Okay, and then the diaconate are Joe and Jan Diedrich. We'll go back in and delete that. And then the 11 o'clock service will be Brooksy, Reed Duncan, and Alyssa Carson. And again, I'll delete that T. Okay, so that is now set. Okay, so now we are looking at kind of the rest of the email here. Now you may notice that where it says announcements there is actually kind of light. I had a darker background the week before, so I used white text, but what I want to do now is make that text darker. So we can actually use a recent color, and we can just use that darker blue, that kind of teal color that we used earlier, whatever you want to call that, and I think that pops a little better. Now, in our announcements, a lot of our announcements stay the same from week to week, so I don't always, you don't have to change everything. So you'll notice over here that the save the date announcement, the grief share announcement, the silent auction donations, those 3 are all on there still. So we can just delete this Disciples Women one because that's actually happening while I'm recording this. And we've got this thank you reception for me and Allison. So I'm going to go up there and grab that. And again, copy it. You can use Command C as the shortcut there. And since it's on the top over here, I'm going to place it on the top there. And I'm going to hit Shift Option Command V. You could also right click and hit Paste and Match Style. Does the exact same thing. So I just like to use the shortcuts. So I'm going to take that to black. And again, for some reason, when I paste the style, it changes the font and stuff. I'm sure there's a setting in there I could fix to make it actually look like how I want it to look, but I have not done that yet. Okay, and we need to make this 17 so that it all matches. There we go. So we've got our announcements done. Quick and easy. This was an easy week for us. Sometimes there's a million announcements and you have to copy and paste a bunch of stuff, but this week was not one of those weeks. So same thing here for prayer concerns. I'm going to change that to the darker color, and then I'm just going to select, I could read through the whole list and see what changed, but it's honestly just easier to grab the whole list and copy it. So I'm actually going to hit select all, and then Shift Option Command V, and then select all of it again, which is Command A, change it to Tahoma, advanced. Nope, that's not what I want to do. We're just going to go basic with the dark black, and then 17. Okay. Now things get a little bit weird when we start talking about the week. I have found that if I just paste in this, the formatting goes haywire and it's crazy. And again, most things from week to week, it just happen. So we don't really have to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is I just changed the dates manually. So 16, 17, 18. You don't need me to explain how to do this, hopefully. 21, and then Saturday the 22nd. And then we've got these upcoming events down here, which I'll fix. So for Sunday, we've got everything is the same here, except for the elders. We don't have the elder meeting this Sunday, so we're just going to delete that. Okay, Monday, we've got food pantry prep at 9 a.m. and then grief share. So I'm going to delete property, and I'm going to add back in the at 9 a.m. food pantry prep. And again, it changed my font. Constant Contact can be a little finicky, so fix that. Okay. All right, so for Tuesday, we've got food pantry staff meeting, basketball at 7, and at 6, we don't have a board meeting this week, but we do have Disciples Men meeting on Tuesday, so we'll plug that in. Wednesday, July 19th, we've got choir and praise team. Thursday, we've got no activities scheduled, so I'll just replace that. And that kept my font the same, at least that time. Are all these at 16? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to take them all up to 17 so they match everything else. Okay. Friday, July 23rd, we've got Card Club at 10 a.m. That stays the same. Saturday, no activity scheduled, so we're good there. Okay, so... and this should actually be July 24th. Oh, that's General Assembly, which is July 29 through August 1st. This should be the 24th through the 29th for the Youth to Eagle Sky. And then we're going to add in the reception for me and Allison here. Okay. Toma 17 and black. Okay. Everything else is as printed there, so we should be good to go. I don't put in the hospital visiting days on this email. I don't think it's necessary. If you want to add it, that's fine. Obviously. Okay. So since we just copied things over, the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, those are all in there. That was done before me. Okay, we have an issue with saving here. Hopefully that saved correctly. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is hit preview and test. So we can preview it. And one of the things we can do is make sure these links are correct. So we'll click on that link. And that is correct. That takes us to the YouTube live stream. And we'll click on this one. And that is correct. And this link will actually take us to last week's digital bulletin. So we're going to fix that in a minute. Okay, so we've got that all good to go. So I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm not going to send the email until I get that other link sent. Now, here's where things get a little weird. Instead of going back and pulling up the digital bulletin, I actually like to have both of these up because I'm going to copy a lot of stuff from the worship email over to the digital bulletin. All right, so we can actually close this at this point because we're only going to copy one thing. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just open a new tab with Constant Contact. And it'll only get weird if you try to edit the same thing at the same time. So, as long as I don't open up this worship email, we should be fine. So what I'm going to do is the active tab is where we actually find our digital bulletins. These are what's called landing pages. So we can kind of look and see how things are going. So last week we had 19 people open the digital bulletin, which I think is good. It makes it worth it, I think, for me. But you all can decide what you want to do from there. So what I'm going to do is just make a copy of this digital bulletin. I like to have the old ones in there because on the YouTube channels, you can then go in and see the old digital bulletins. So that's why I don't just change it every week. And again, you can decide how to do that if you want. So I'm just going to hit copy. And again, with the pop-up, we're going to change the date. hit save. And the first few steps here are easy once we get into it. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so the first few steps are easy. I'm just going to replace the graphic, which is nice because it's already in there since we had it uploaded for the email. So I'll just click on that one and hit insert. And I did that quickly, so I'm gonna slow down. If you click on this and hit replace is how I did that. So you click on replace, and then you can choose whatever graphic you have in here. Obviously, we'll want this one, and we're just going to hit insert, and there it is. Okay. The next thing that I want to do is change the background colors. And again, it should have the ones that I picked saved as recent colors. So the outer background down here in recent colors, we'll pick that one. And then the inner background, we will pick that lighter bluish gray. And then again, any white text that I have over that bluish gray, I'm just going to change to match the darker because it pops a little better. Okay. So this section you don't ever have to change other than changing the color of that text. This link takes them to the sign-in page, the Google Drive sign-in, so they can change things there. Okay, visit our website. All that stuff just stays the same from week to week as well. So the first thing that we need to do is update the order of worship and the scriptures for the day. Okay, so what I need to do there's a couple of things I can do. It's actually easier just to change it, just to edit it, rather than going through and copy and paste, because then you have to mess with all the formatting and stuff. And it's pretty much the same every week. So I'm going to delete that because we're not doing that this week. I do need to change this Crossroads live stream, so I'll go back over to YouTube and get the shareable link, Constant Contact, edit that link. I still want it to say click here for the live stream. Then I'm going to paste that link in, hit insert. So I'm just going to change these manually because I know what the songs are. So it's not Build My Life. It is Blessed Be Your Name. Welcome and announcements will happen next. And then we're going to do Graves in the Gardens here. Children's Moment, Morning Prayer. And then Mighty to Save. And then for the sermon here, I'm actually going to copy what I did over here because we want similar formatting. Apparently we were missing an L on that, I just noticed. So we have the right font, but we are going to change that to darker black. And I think I have these at 18 maybe. Yeah. So the text is at 18 here. Okay, all of that is the same, and then this song will change to Breakthrough, and then Benediction and Go Light Your World. So if you needed to pull up the order of worship to look at it, you can, and if there's any changes, obviously just make those. For the scripture, I am going to actually, like I did with the Pro Presenter, I'm just going to copy what Mike sent in his email. So we'll go over here. We'll go down to where Mike sent the rundown email, and the traditional rundown is the one that usually has the scriptures. So I'm literally just going to copy and paste directly from what he put. Hit copy, come over here, and I don't want to get rid of the title. There we go. And again, I'm going to do Shift Option Command. Now, there's some formatting stuff that I'm going to have to fix, unfortunately. That is kind of the downside of doing it that way. But we will make it work. So we're going to take it up to 17, hit done, and then we're going to bold each of the scripture titles. And we've got to get rid of it. It does have these awkward spaces when it copies. And then since this is multiple scriptures, I am going to put a line break in between. So I just go through, and anywhere that I can tell that it inserted a line break that doesn't need to be there, I'll fix that. And this, again, just takes some editing and patience. not the most efficient or ideal thing to do. Now I do leave in the verse numbers here. If you watched the video about the ProPresenter, you saw that I took out the verse numbers in the ProPresenter, but on the Bulletin, I do like to go ahead and leave the verse numbers in there. And I should actually say that Mike likes to have the verse numbers in there, so that's kind of why I do it. And I see the value, of course, in having them there as well. Unfortunately, I can't. It won't let me format them as super text, which is what you normally have, where they're small and up above. I haven't figured out how to do that in Constant Contact yet. If you figure out how to do that, awesome. Okay, so we've got our scriptures in there, and I'm going to make sure that these are all the right color. There we go. Okay, so, and that kind of works out nicely because our scripture ends up the exact same length as our Crossroads worship information, so everything is nice and balanced. Okay, so now we have our traditional stuff. I'm going to again change that font color there. All right, and for this, I'm actually going to just copy over the Bulletin because there is a lot of text that changes from week to week, and it's just a little easier to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the live stream link. So we're going to hit Get Shareable Link and edit and paste that. Okay, so that is updated, and now we just need to grab the Bulletin. So I know that on the left side, I'm going to go down to the doxology. So I'll just come, I'll go find my open Bulletin. There it is. And I am going to go down to, it actually has all the way down to the invitation to communion on this one. So I'll grab that. I don't copy that because it's already in there. We're going to hit copy. Come up here. And then again, I'm going to do a paste and match style. And then I'm going to grab all that text, make it Tahoma, and whale poo. Started clicking on random stuff. This is why it's always good to use a mouse. I'm using a trackpad here. Take it up to 17 and make it bold and change it to black. Okay, so this is fine with me. I'll usually just leave it like that. This text I usually do go ahead and make it a little smaller and do an italics like it, so it matches the Bulletin there. Okay, and then I'm going to go grab the other half, which is all this. Hit copy. And just do the same thing. We're just going to copy and paste it in. So Shift Option Command V. And I'm actually going to grab, I'll go ahead and do this now. This, because we are using both hymnals this week. And paste that in down at the bottom. Now I can grab all this text. Sometimes the thing disappears. That's annoying. There are some quirks in Constant Contact that can make things irritating sometimes, but we make it work. Okay, and I just leave the formatting as it is. I haven't found a way to make it better or anything like that. So we're going to hit done. We actually don't need this. Was something special that we had last week, so I'm just going to delete these two sections. So to delete an entire section, you just click on it and then hit the delete button. So we'll just delete that, and you can kind of tell that we've actually got an extra spacer right there, so we're going to get rid of that. Okay, now the rest is actually just copy and paste. So we've got the calendar. So I'll go down here to the bottom of this, and I'm going to select all, hit Command C, grab that, and hit... Nope. I can actually hit just Command V, and it copies it in the right format. Okay, we can take it up to 18. So we've got that, which is nice. We're going to copy the elder serving stuff. from right here. Again, we can just copy it, select all, and hit Command V. And all I'll do is take the text up to the right size. Okay, looks good. I'm actually going to make this chalice a little smaller so that it's kind of balanced. I like them to match. That's just me. Okay, and then announcements. We'll do the same thing. Again, we're just going to copy and paste them from the worship email because they should be the exact same. Hit copy, come over here, select all, hit paste, and we'll take them up to 18. Hit done. And 18 is just what I picked arbitrarily. So if you like a different size, do that. And then again, the prayer concerns, I'm gonna grab this, hit copy, paste it in there. Okay, so that's what we've got for the digital bulletin. So once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and activate it. First, I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to go ahead and activate it. And activating it, does make it live, but nobody's going to see it until I actually send the link out. So I go ahead and activate it, and then I'll send the link for people to double check, formatting and proofing and all that stuff. Make sure I didn't miss something, paste something in incorrectly. So once it's activated, then we get the link. Okay, so this is the link to the actual page. So if we click on that, you can see that it is the digital bulletin there. And this is what people will see if they open up the link on their phone or on their iPad or whatever, their computer, so they can see the digital bulletin. So we're going to copy that link, and we're going to take it back over to our worship email, and now we're going to put that link in the worship email. So that's why we hadn't sent out the preview yet for the worship email. So I just make sure that I have a block of time to be able to do all of this at once, usually on Thursday or Friday. Here we go. So now that's done. The worship email should be good to go. We're going to save it, and now we're going to go ahead and send our test email. So we're going to hit send test. And I usually send it to Robin, Mike, and Billy. And I'll hit, this is the test email. Please let me know if you find any mistakes. And then I'm going to hit send now. Okay, success, our email was sent. We can close that out. And then we can actually go ahead and close the worship email for now. I am going to show you how to go ahead and set it to send. So assuming that they didn't find any errors, we're going to hit continue. And we're going to go to congregation. So this will send to the entire congregation. And Robin updates that list as needed, so you don't ever have to worry about that. Okay, and we're going to hit schedule for later right here. So schedule for later, I usually send it on Friday. I like to send it at 1 o'clock, so I need to schedule it for 2 o'clock because it is Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, and if I want early results and stuff like that, I can put it in there. I don't usually worry about it for this email. Again, we can list who it's from. For this one, a lot of times I'll list it from me. Of course, when you're getting when you're using the admin account, you'll be able to just say that it's from Park Hill Christian Church, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so once that's done, I will hit schedule. And even though it's scheduled, I can still edit it. So I usually go ahead and do that so that I don't forget to send it on Friday. And then if somebody notices something, we can go in and edit it pretty easily. If we hit unschedule, and then we'll be able to edit it and make changes and then reschedule it. So I'm going to leave it as it is. Hopefully there's no mistakes in there, and I'll go in and fix them if there are. Okay, the last thing I want to do while I've got everything open here is I want to grab that digital bulletin link and put it in the YouTube page. So I'm going to click on this, and that will allow me to edit the description. So as you can see here, I've got last week's link in there. So we're going to grab that and just hit Command Paste, and that changes it to this week. And we're going to hit Save. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing in the traditional service. Since both are in the digital bulletin, we'll grab that. And again, it's the numbers that we're looking for to change. Come on. there we go. So this XPC G809, that's going to change when we paste in our new one. So see, it changes to that mess of numbers. So that lets us know that it's our new link. Okay, the next thing I would do is take that link and set it up so that it is worship. So that parkhillchristian.org/bulletin goes to that. I've got another email or another video to show you how to do that. Okay. Hopefully this wasn't just terribly long and boring for you. And as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to walk you through it. Robin is also kind of an expert at Constant Contact. She's gotten really good with using it since we started using it. So please just let me know, or you can ask her and she will be happy to help you get things working. All right. Thanks and have a great afternoon.